Denis Villeneuve's Dune logo has been released for some time now, but there are things in the logo that we haven't noticed. In this episode we will look at the hidden meanings inside the Dune logo. If you are new to the channel, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and click the bell so that you can be first to be notified of new content. And thank you to my Patreons for your support. If you'd like to support this channel, you can support me on Patreon, where you'll be first to get exclusive content ahead of time. Let's take an in-depth look at the logo. The first impressions we get of the Dune logo is that there is a solar flare behind some kind of planet, and we assume it's Arrakis, and we see the Dune word with a dot and another solar flare that makes the E. But around the major solar flare, behind the word Dune, we can see many lines. Now they could be interpreted as star map lines or constellation lines, and because I look at this logo quite frequently, I noticed a few things. There are circles around the planet, but there are also squares and lines and shapes. Now I need to up the contrast for you to see this. Now if we change the colouring a little and brighten it a little bit, we can see that there are clear shapes. My first impression was thinking that it was the Star of David, which would have its relevant symbolism in Dune. So I thought that this Star of David could be in some way a reference to Chapterhouse Dune. But upon further inspection and taking a closer look, it doesn't have 6 points, it has 8. It seems that this is not the Star of David because the Star of David has 6 points. If we take a closer look, it has more than 6 points. If we add the geometrical shape, you can clearly see that these lines make out the shape of a pointed Islamic geometrical star. And you don't get to see this symbol in the initial Dune logo release. You have to find the greater, larger images, and I had to piece them together to get this shape looking the way it looks and matching it with other Dune logo images to create the final full poster that reveals the symbol. This 8-pointed star is a very common Islamic geometrical shape and symbol, and it can be seen throughout Islamic architecture, especially in places like Andalusia. This is the same symbol that Danica used in her Dune Club enamel pin design. So this is a good sign that they are using Islamic symbolism for Dune. Of course, there are many people who are worried about the absence of this kind of symbology, the absence of Arab actors, etc. But it's very interesting how this was kind of hidden within the logo. Now I do know that the Dune production have often spoken of arabesque, this word arabesque, to describe certain things in Dune. So I do know that there will be at least a hint of these things, but whether or not we will actually see real Islamic or Arabic symbolism in Dune, I do not know. I really hope so. But this is a good sign that we see this geometry in the Dune logo. And let us not forget the fact that Denis Villeneuve's Dune logo also depicts a solar eclipse. This symbolism has quite a significant meaning. If we look at Baraka, the movie I mentioned in my previous video, the culmination of Baraka, it centers itself around a solar eclipse. And when that eclipse happens, that's the end of the film, and it's really like the climax of the film. So the significance of a solar eclipse on Arrakis means like this great event that's going to happen on Arrakis. And of course there are going to be many things on Arrakis that's going to change the course of humanity, of history, of House Atreides, etc. It may even be a planetary alignment or conjunction of the moons of Arrakis, the planet Arrakis and the sun. So such a convergence would signify the occurrence of a great universal event. And you have to give credit to the person who designed the logo, Lucas Suenka, I believe that's how you pronounce his name. And he is a lead creature and character artist at Double Negative, or DNEG. And DNEG are the ones who are actually creating the special effects for Denis Villeneuve's Dune film. So I commend him for adding that touch of Islamic geometrical symbolism. These lines and symbols on the Dune logo could also match the lines that we see on Cheynie's crysknife. As we can see, there are lines on the scabbard that appear to match the Dune logo. So this seems like a design connected to the Fremen. I think it's great that the logo and the Fremen and the fate of Arrakis are linked together, all in the design for Denis Villeneuve's Dune. There have already been complaints about the Arab symbolism in Dune, or lack of, but this reveal in the logo should give them, or give us, some kind of hope that there will be. Let's just say it's a good sign from the Dune production. And the fact that this logo was designed by DNEG shows that the Arabesque nature in Dune is going to be at the VFX level, not just, hopefully, the props and sets department. So this indicates an attention to detail and a synergy between the VFX department and the production design department. And if it wasn't for the dot within the E, the entire Dune logo would have been a palindrome. I think if Dune wants to avoid criticism, it has to include some kind of arabesque imagery, arabesque symbolism, Arab actors perhaps, or something of that sort, because if they completely ignore it, there is going to be quite a significant backlash. So that's all I wanted to share with you guys. I hope you like this reveal of the Dune logo. Did you notice this before? Perhaps I'm not the first one to see this. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section below. If you like this channel, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and click the bell so that you can be first to be notified of new content. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with others. If you'd like to support this channel, you can support me on Patreon. And of course, thanks to all my Patreons for your support. Thank you, and until next time, see you soon.